hey, I'm Jared Kennedy. I'm the owner of Lion Realty, and we have this absolutely fantastic listing. And Kelly and I were trying to figure out how we showcase this to everyone that we know, how do we get people to watch it. And so then we thought, well, I really like to cook, and this is a beautiful kitchen for cooking in. So why don't we take a minute and I'm going to share an old family recipe, if you want to call it that, with you and teach you how to make an absolutely dynamite meal for entertaining. Something that people will be like, wow, that was pretty awesome. And so I'm going to share that with you. And as I do that, Kelly's going to take you on a tour of this house and show you some different parts of the house, features and aspects of it. Again, this is one of the most beautiful houses you're going to find in Oklahoma, and it's a ton of nice acreage. So we're gonna tour you the house and hopefully give you a little bit of a culinary expertise. I am an amateur chef, not a professional chef, but my father was a professional chef and he was trained by a 4-star Michelin chef. So I'm doing a take I have on his garlic stuffed filet. And so I'm going to show you how I do that, and we're going to mix in a Hasselback potato, always red meat, red wine. So we've got a couple bottles right here. I'm going to go ahead and put one of these open and let Kelly talk to you about the house.
Okay, so I will kind of take you, since we're in the kitchen, I'm going to just kind of show you the key features of the kitchen. We kind of unpacked and have some of our cooking supplies out, but you'll go ahead and you'll get the gist. So apologies in advance for just some of the messes that are on the counter, but we're still in process. This is eventually going to be a charcuterie board. We're not there yet, but you can see how pretty and open this living room kitchen area is. He's got the wine. But I'll back up here. All the colors are just warm and friendly and inviting, and all the light fixtures are really pretty. I'll kind of stand back here so you can get a bigger view of the living room and of the kitchen. And then if you kind of swivel around, we've got some stairs. I'm going to take you through there a little later on, but for now we're going to get some wine here in a second. I'll give you as he's pouring that, and take it. We always save our corks and put something special on it. I'll write on it, and we always save them for whatever the date is. So we'll cheers.
Okay, so one of the things I'm making tonight are Hasselback potatoes. And to do that, you have to cut slots in your potatoes all the way down. So I brought these 2 spatulas. This is just a little grandma's trick, if you want to call it that. So you put it like this. It'll keep you from accidentally cutting all the way through when you're making your slots, which gets really easy to do with a hard potato. Some people use chopsticks. I think, potatoes are a little bit rigid and always that flush on the bottom. So if you use something as thin as chopsticks, you still have to be extra careful you don't accidentally come over through your potato. What's nice is as this potato starts to cook, these will open up a bit, and this will be stuffed. We'll kind of see how it comes together. But there's one. I'll go ahead and take care of the other one while Kelly takes care of the tour of the house.
Okay, now that you can see kind of what the kitchen looks like, we've got our charcuterie board, just kind of prepped and made. Got my glass of wine. I want to show you just a close-up of the...
This is what your dinners are going to be like when you buy this house, right?
I'm going to show you the outside area because I think it's like the greatest ever. So this whole house is kind of like has an indoor-outdoor feel. So when you walk outside, you've got a seating area here. I'll kind of just do a slow pan. This right here is an infinity hot tub. And we'll walk around. All the landscaping is just perfection. And there's kind of like the back of the house. There's your infinity hot tub. There's a little barbecue area, which is really neat because you can serve the people that are in the hot tub, or you can serve the people that are in the pool. We're gonna take you, see here's all the different indoor-outdoor areas, but I'll take you through each room individually here in just a little bit. But you've got your waterfalls and just a seating area there. So here across the way there's garages, and you can use those for cars. But if you had an event or something going on, you could open those up. You could have tables in there. Extra people could fit in like at a party or entertaining. You just have a lot of different options for what you can do. And again, I'll probably take you through here separately, but I'll give you a sneak peek of this separate kitchen and bar area that serves the outdoors and the pool, which is just so neat. And that's it. I told Jared, I was like, I feel like I am not at a house. I feel like I'm at a resort. And I couldn't imagine this being my everyday. It's phenomenal.
Okay, now you guys are back. I wanted to talk about the steak a little bit. You real steak guys out there, you're really mad at me for what I'm about to do to these. But I do have to give good advice. Whether you're doing a garlic stuffed filet like I'm gonna do tonight, or any steak, what really matters isn't how you cook it. What matters most is getting a really good company. And so here in Oklahoma, there's no better place to get a filet than Homeland, in my opinion. So this is Homeland's prime filet, tenderloin filet, and look at the marbling in these. This is just a gorgeous piece of meat. Both of these are gonna turn out wonderful. Now, again, I agree with you. These should just be cooked as is and enjoyed for the beauty, because these are beautiful steaks. But again, I wanted to show a cool recipe tonight, and so maybe if you're gonna do garlic stuffed filet, buy the choice a little bit cheaper. But I love it regardless. And again, I hope you enjoy the recipe. I'm gonna let Kelly take you around again while I get some more things prepped here, and then we'll get going on these steaks.
So before it gets too terribly dark, I wanted to show you guys the outside of this house. It's got a 3-car garage here with a storm shelter. It's a little dark, but they are glass, which is just a really neat feature. And of course, on the opposite side of the house, you have 2-car garage options as well. But I wanted to take you all the way up to the home, because look how pretty this landscaping is. Like, this is beautiful. And what I like about this landscaping too is that, there's a lot of rocks, there are a lot of rock features, but the plants here too don't look like they are high maintenance. There's kind of a better shot of the outside of this home. I love the entryway just because it has a grand feel to it. Again, with the glass double doors is a really nice touch. I personally like anything that's bright and airy and open, and so these doors speak to me quite a bit. So let's open it up. And this is your view right whenever you walk through the home. So what's neat about this house too, let's see if I can do it right. Everything is kind of, it reminds me just of art. Like this wall right here is actually a coat closet. So, oops, wrong side. So if you push on these walls, oops, sorry. It's hard with one hand holding the phone. If you push on these walls, of course, there you've got your coat closet. So it's just neat little hidden closets that don't look like your standard closet. They're actually artistic and pretty, which I can appreciate. Here to the left, they have this as kind of like a piano / wine room, which is beautiful. You can alternatively make this maybe into a formal dining room. They have a pretty big eat-in kitchen area. They also have a bar area, but if you didn't want to use this for a piano room or a sitting room, you could use it for a formal dining room.
Okay, so I've gone ahead and pre-cooked a little bit of bacon in the oven. I'm going to show that to you. You want it al dente, most like 70-80% cooked. But where it's still got enough to go so the flavor will get the potatoes. But then also the pan I use is the same pan I'm going to cook the potatoes in. So I'm just going to put them in here and roll them in the bacon grease that was in here. Get them good covered. I just broke that one. It's okay. Okay, so now I've got them good covered in bacon grease, and then I'm going to put just a couple of seasonings in here to roll around with some black pepper. I like Lawry's own seasoning. I've never used it. You should try it. And then garlic salt. And so I'll roll these a little bit more in this, so that way it kind of gets all the way around them. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is this cheese I have here and this bacon, I'm going to put it in the slots of the potato that we created. I like to go every other. Some minced bacon. Alright, and just like this until you've got your potato full. The potatoes prepared, as you can see, bacon and cheese alternating. We have cheddar, Colby, and pepper jack. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven, which is already preheated to 350. These are beautiful ovens, by the way. And we're gonna let those cook until we're done cooking the steak. With the size of the potatoes, that'll need at least 45 minutes in the oven. Now that we've got that done, while the potatoes are cooking, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the steak. One thing that I do, I learned very early on, hate it, you don't have to ever do it, but I like to kind of soften up the outer layer of protein, so I like to give all my steaks a little score on the outside. Don't knock it till you try it if you've never tried it, but I'm just gonna simply come down this way, and then I'll cross hatch it the other way. When we season it, that'll give it a good opportunity for some of your salts to kind of get down below the outer layer of protein, but it also helps create a good crust on the steak once you grill it, because that outer layer is broken down a little bit. Okay, now that we've got a light score on both sides, before we stuff it, we're gonna give it a nice seasoning. I always like to do a generous dusting of onion powder, and we'll do this on both sides. And then black pepper, quite a bit lighter on the black pepper, unless you like it spicy, but this, believe it or not, can spice up your steak pretty quick. And then garlic salt. You can do garlic powder. I like to go on the salty side. I think it gives you a good crust and some nice flavor, but if you're gonna use garlic salt, very light, kind of like the pepper. Use onion powder, a little bit more copious, like the onion powder, so that way it gets in, and then you're gonna massage it into your steak. You gotta love it.
So once you're through this piano room / dining room / wine room, I will take you, I love these archways, through the hallway, which leads to, of course, the kitchen and living room. Again, everything's hidden. So this is underneath the stairs. If you push on this, there is extra storage underneath. There's stairwell. Close that up. This hallway. This is a really large pantry. They've got a desk, shelves, and all the shelving go from ceiling to floor, which is nice. That way there's just not a lot of wasted space. It's well thought out, and that goes pretty far back. If you head around here, again, here's the other hallway. And this hallway has extra cabinets and storage. And if you go around and follow it down, you are at the first laundry room. You can see that there. There are, I believe, 3 laundry rooms in this home. And this is close to the secondary bedrooms. Each bedroom in this home has its own bathroom, and all the bathrooms are very nice, and walk-in closet. So you are not having to share. The kiddos are not having to share. Your guests are not having to share. Whoever wants to be in here has their own space. And here is another secondary bedroom with a walk-in closet and its own bathroom.
Okay, then once you have those 3 seasonings kind of patted in, then we're gonna do our outer seasoning, what's gonna really help us get our crust. So cracked peppercorns on the outside. And then ground sea salt. Just try and make sure it's fairly evenly spread. Push that in too. And then I'm gonna flip it over and do the other side while you guys get back with Kelly.
If you start at the entry and walk towards the right side of the home, we just viewed the left. Here you have just a guest bathroom. I love the all black and gold features. And this takes you to the primary bedroom. It's very large. It's hard to see on video, but it's a really good size. It's got the beautiful coffered ceilings, its own fireplace in the bedroom, and of course access to the beautiful pool outside. There you go. You can see how tall the ceilings are. We'll walk into the bathroom. The bathroom is extremely spacious. Again, extremely spacious, And you've got your double sink. I love the wood and the black and the gold. It just creates for a lot of warmth. You've got, of course, your large jutted tub and your shower. I love the herringbone tile in here. Kind of step inside. And of course, these ceilings are extremely tall. You got your dual, you've got your shower head, and of course the wand that you can shower with. Close this up. All the finishes in this home are very nice. Of course, a separate toilet room. And this, which I love, which is a extremely large, grand primary closet. It's got its own washer and dryer hookup here, which I love. That way you can just do your laundry. You've got a nice center table that's got drawers, a center dresser. You've got drawers, you've got a sitting area to get ready. Of course, a mirror so you can see yourself, but just to be able to do your laundry and then fold it and put it away just makes everything really convenient. A lot of shelving, a lot of drawers for all your needs. And a lot of these go up pretty high, so you're not wasting a lot of space here. But look how I'm trying to step back in the very, very corner, but the primary closet is to die for.
Okay, so our fillets are scored and they're seasoned, and our next step is we're going to commit a cardinal sin of steak making, but I'm going to cut these into a strip. And so on a fillet, you'll notice there's always a good cut. Should always have this little part that breaks off right here where the fat vein goes. And so we are just going to start by cutting along that to unroll our fillet. About like that. That one out, and then we're going to do this one.
Marbling.
Yeah, these are beautiful steaks. Always Homeland.
The butcher at Homeland, not just the meat section at Homeland.
Yeah, the butcher.
The
yes.
butcher.
Talk to the butcher, specifically the butcher that moved from the 122nd location to the 160th location in N Edmond. He's phenomenal. He will get you the best fillets if you ask him for it. But you gotta let him know you're serious, you know? Okay. All right, now that we've got that done, I'm gonna set my knife down, and then I'm going to do something else as an optional step. But everyone asks why they're the most tender steak they've ever had, because I use a meat tenderizer. Now that I have it like this, I'm just going to puncture it all the way down. Okay, now our next step before I take a break here will be to spread on some compound butter. I've made the compound butter ahead of time. This is something that, it depends on what your taste is. So I do a Gorgonzola compound butter. Essentially what we're using is garlic butter. And so this is a garlic stuffed fillet. So if you just want to use garlic butter, just use garlic butter. I recommend still roasting your butter and then reconstituting it so you get a really good compound butter out of it. I add some Gorgonzola cheese to mine. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna spread that over here and then we'll roll them back up. I'm gonna wash my hands really quick and then we'll get back to you. Okay, so here's our compound butter, and I've let it out because you want it about this consistency for spreading it. But there's roasted garlic in there, Gorgonzola cheese. I add a little fresh parsley, and then butter, obviously. And I'm gonna spread this kind of evenly in here. Some people are known to add bacon and wrap it up in here. That gets a little rich for me because I'm already doing the pungency of the Gorgonzola cheese. But if that's what you prefer, give it a try. And if you have any questions about any of the steps or the recipe or how to do whatever, I know I'm going kind of fast and in someone else's house, just feel free to leave a comment on the bottom of the video of this house that we make, and I'm happy to share. This is not always the way I make my steak. I just figured this would be a cool way to show for this video, for this house, and something that probably not everyone has done or seen. So I wanted you to get an idea of how to do it. So we're gonna spread it just like that, and then I'm gonna roll them up right back the way that they came. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it back down, kind of get like a pinwheel action here.
That already looks delicious.
Got some toothpicks, so toothpick through here. You want to get it at least through 2 layers of this. And yeah, you end up with some extra. This creates your crust, and it is a very good crust. The cheese aspect does that. The cheese and the peppercorns, it's just a dynamite combo. So don't be afraid to get a bunch of that on there. Okay, and again, we kind of want to reconstitute it here, get it all so it's the same level like when it was a whole steak, so that way it cooks even. Spread the butter on there, and then grab my toothpicks. There we go, we are ready to cook them. We're using a pan instead of a grill today because that's what we have. And I'm a big believer that you can get just about as good of a sear on your steak and pan as you can any type of grill, but it's all about technique. But we'll go there next.
From the primary bedroom, you enter through these glass doors, which again, I love the glass door features. It makes everything feel spacious. They have this set up as an office / conference room. They've got everything like video hookup, TV, desk, of course, all of this cabinetry. The way that they have this decorated and styled, I just love. Look how nice that is. It's got vaulted ceilings. It's got speakers in the vaulted ceilings as well. Let me stand over to the side so you can kind of get, this room is pretty large. You could do a lot with it. If you didn't want it to be an office, there's a lot of different other functions that you could use this for. And again, of course, all of the bedrooms, except for the secondary bedrooms, have access to the outside. You can hear the waterfalls. It's very relaxing.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to put the steaks in our pan here, and I'm gonna give a few notes, tips. You don't have to take them. I know everyone's a grill master, but I do feel that you can cook just as good of a steak on a pan. I don't have a flame here. This is an induction heater, but you still have to have the right equipment. So cast iron is the way to go. This actually isn't a cast iron. This is a Swedish pan that is basically a cast iron. You'll see it smoking a little bit when I take it off there. That's because you always want to cook in a hot pan. Never heat the pan when your food's in there. At least when you're doing a steak, if you want to have that good sear and a good cook. Another way you do it is what's called a crisp, where you can put it in the oven at 700 degrees on a hot pan. I'm just going to show you cooktop because I think that's something everyone has access to. A grill works as well. Since we're starting with a very hot pan, it's going to act very much like a grill. These are pretty thick fillets. It's about 1.5 inches thickness. Just in my experience, these will probably be 2 to 2.5 minutes per turn. And when I say per turn, I will cook it 2 to 2.5 minutes, and then as if it was on a grill, putting grill marks, then I'll give it a quarter turn. And then after 2 to 2.5 minutes, I'll give it a flip, and then 2 to 2.5 minutes, a quarter turn. And that should achieve a good medium rare. Kelly and I both like our steaks medium rare, so that's what we're gonna go for. We'll cut it open at the end and show you what we're dealing with. But I wanted you to know the timing before I put it in the pan, because obviously if you overcook it, that ruins the steak. If you undercook it, not everyone likes that, but kind of gauge your time from there. And looking at the thickness of these steaks, it's about to my middle knuckle on my middle finger there, thickness-wise. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these in the pan. My pan is very hot. This oven is, or this cooktop's really cool the way that works, but I'm 6.5 out of 10. That's where I like to go. If you go higher than that, it's a little bit better. But I've got pretty thick steaks, so I want to make sure I get the middle cooked before I'm completely destroying the outside. So we're gonna go 6.5 instead of 7.5. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these in the pan, and we'll get them cooked.
We are now going to enter into the second kitchen / bar area, which is just genius, especially having this kind of outdoor space that's for entertaining. You might not necessarily want people in the kitchen if they're coming in with, wet feet. But of course they've got this type of flooring that's okay if everything gets wet. It would be easy for cleanup. But just to have its own separate eat-in area and bar, If we open up the cabinets, of course they've got it stocked, ready to go. There, of course, your freezer. More of a refrigerator area. We've got a separate ice dispenser, wine racks. It's got a microwave. Of course, these are what the drawers look like. They're nice and large. Its own dishwasher. And another washer and dryer. So if you've got pool towels or swimsuits, you can easily put them in there, so that way the rest of the house does not get dirty. And they've got, of course, seat-in area.
All right, Kelly, come here. Come here. They're not quite ready, but I want to show you something. Come on this side. Take a look at these potatoes. They are a showstopper.
I wish you guys could smell that. It smells delicious.
Okay, well, I've got you. Come over here to our steaks. Keep them about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. They're cooking. What you're going to notice is your compound butter is going to be kind of lava volcanoing out of the top here. We're just, because we've got toothpicks as a marker, I'm going to give these about a half turn. And it's just because not every pan heats perfect. This is, I'll tell you, this is a very nice pan. You can get it at silver table. So it does heat very evenly, but most pans are going to have a little bit of uneven heat. So even if you're not putting lines on your steak, you want to give it that turn to make sure that you're heating evenly per side. So we've got about another 2.5 minutes over here. If you look, you're starting to see that the steak is starting to cook up the side a little bit, but we're going to want that at least halfway up before we do our flip for a medium rare. The outside's always going to cook quite a bit faster than the inside. Since we cut the steak though, our inside's going to cook a little bit faster on these. So if you didn't pinwheel your steak like I did, a little bit more time. But so we're going to err to the 2-minute side versus the 2.5 minute side. Okay, we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Opposite of the kitchen, you have a separate bedroom. This could be a mother-in-law suite, which is nice because, you know, if you're not using this for entertaining, whoever stays in this bedroom, they have access to a full kitchen, which is nice. So they're not having to go into the main kitchen area to get food or drink. But it's quite large. It's got vaulted ceilings. Again, they've got a view of the outdoor area with the waterfalls. This bedroom off of the second kitchen area has a really large closet. The whole entire house is just decorated beautifully, from the custom wallpaper to the light fixtures. And of course it has a beautiful bathroom as well. I love the light fixtures throughout the house. They did a phenomenal job making everything seem luxurious and custom made.
Okay, we're about to flip the steaks. There's a few things I want to look at. One is, it might be tough for you to see, but the graying of the steak has kind of gone up halfway. It's a little bit inconsistent. Another thing that we look for is you can start to see the steak sweat. Yeah, the butter's obviously going to melt, but once you see the blood and the fat starting to reduce in the steak and come up, that's when you know you're getting about where you need to be. You see when I squeeze it, that happens. We call that sweating. I'm going to flip over and you'll see we've got pretty good accomplished crust there. It looks like this side might be cooking a little bit hotter than this side, so we just want to be cognizant. I'll probably leave this one on for a little bit tiny longer. It's a little bit bigger. But there we go, we've got our crust going up. Now one of our ideas of doing this, we've got a great crust, and what's going to just blow our flavor palette out of the way is as this butter cooks up through now the other side and just marinates and goes all the way through the meat as we finish cooking it out. So we're hoping to get these a perfect medium rare. They smell amazing. I wish you could smell that through the phone, but we're almost there. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Since I've taken you on a tour of the bottom floor of the home, let's go ahead and go upstairs. Okay, so here we are upstairs. We've got a little mini kitchenette bar area here. to a really nice movie room. Projection screens. It's very well done. Very tasteful. And take a look at the carpet. For speakers. For surround sound. Off the movie room, you have a very, very large, can you hear echo? A very, very large multi-purpose room. You could put a second living room up here. You could put a pool table, shuffleboard, you name it. It is large enough to pretty much do whatever you want to with. Off this ginormous multi-purpose room, there is a balcony. You come out here, drink some coffee, have some wine, smoke a cigar, and of course you have access to look at the whole entire view of the property. It's dark right now so you can't see, but this sits on 5 acres of land. It has a large shop off in the back. You can kind of see where it begins. Let me twist around here. Beautiful.
Okay, we pulled the potatoes out of the oven, and guys, the smell is to die for. But you can see why we pre-cooked the bacon. It just, inside the potato and everything, it doesn't cook that much, but our cheese has melted in, started to brown. Our potato is good and soft, and the only way to know that is to touch it, but it's good and soft. You put a fork through it. It's tough with this presentation because you don't want to ruin your brown cheese and bacon. The bacon may stick to your fork a little bit. But these are pretty well perfect, ready to be served. Can't wait to put these on a plate with the steak. It's almost done. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna try and get these potatoes out and plated. This is making my mouth water. Oh, look at that. So that's where I was saying, if you want a showstopper on a plate, I know we neglected vegetables with this meal. It's because I don't like them. Kelly loves vegetables though, so we have got to give her credit. She's the healthy one. And we're cooking in someone else's kitchen, hopefully your future kitchen. And so I wanted to be able to do this a little bit quick and minimize the pans and mess, but I also wanted to share with you guys just a absolute show-stopping, quick meal you can make without tremendous amount of skill. I hate to say that, but it can, that's the reality of it, and you can sure look like you know your way around the kitchen after watching this video. Look at that. Look how that lays down.
Off the multi-purpose room, and of course you have a bathroom with a shower and a separate bedroom. A separate bedroom has a good sized closet, and it's nice because this room just kind of has its own space up here. Walk you back through. Of course, there's a door, you can shut out the noise, and it leads back downstairs.
Okay guys, we've hit our time with our steak. More important than the timing, the time is your guide, but you want to be able to feel, and you want to have some softness, but you'll see this one, the top of it looks very wet. Outside what the butter is, you can see how the fat and blood's kind of come through. So this should be a pretty good medium rare. We're gonna go ahead and take it off and plate it. Other steak, which is a little bit bigger, so I don't mind leaving it, but you'll see we're accomplishing the same thing. This little ring here, that sweating coming through, that's what we're looking for, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out as well. Look at that. Okay, typically, with what's left in this pan here, if you were at home, you could toss a little bit of what's left over in your glass of wine into here and add just a little bit of flour and mix it and make like a really nice little red wine demi-glaze. We're gonna skip that today, but just know this is a valuable part of cooking if you so choose to use it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off our cooktop here, and we're gonna cut into these steaks and enjoy dinner. Thank you guys for cooking with us. I hope you love this house. Okay, Kel, cheers.
Cheers.
We've given our steak a minute to rest here. Always important before you cut in, give it a minute to rest. We're about to cut in, show you what the final product looks like. And hopefully we enjoy it, and we hope you guys enjoyed being in this wonderful home with us tonight.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't trust me. I'm the chef. I'm biased.
It makes the best steak. Hands down.
All right, I'm back really quick. I just want to show you guys this so you can see kind of on that timing what we're going for. We're going for that medium rare. That's the way we like it, but that's what that timing gets you right there. Perfect.